Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So we will be discussing frequently asked interview questions in this session. I hope you guys would have given a few interviews and you would have come across questions like this. And this are collected from many students who have given their interviews and feedback from them, like what are the frequent questions that were asked in the interview. So it will help you with your interviews as well. So you guys would have been aware of this, like they will give you an XOR gate from which you'll make a buffer, also inverter. So how many of you guys are aware of this question? You can raise your hand. How many of you know the answer? How many of you know the answer for this question?
If we give one input to 0 and another input to the input signal, we can make it as buffer, and we
Yeah.
give one as one input as one and another input as input, we'll get the inverter.
Yes, correct. This is the answer that an interviewer will be expecting from you guys. So this is how it acts, right? When we give an one as another input, it acts as an inverter, and then when we give one input as zero, it will act as buffer. Yes, as you said, it is correct. When we give particularly like I guess you understand by seeing this diagram, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is like most frequent asked questions in the interview. They'll be asking you to, to design and buffer and an inverter using XOR gate. So you should be aware of this. So next question is like, can anyone tell me what is the application of buffer? They'll, in the interview, most of the interviews they'll be asking you follow-up questions. Like now they asked you what is the they asked you to draw an buffer inverter using XOR gate. So there came topic of buffer, right? So they will be asking you a follow-up question of about buffer. So can anyone application of buffer?
It can be used for delaying, like in clock and digital circuits, we have clocks. So if we want to provide some delay and also we can use
Yes,
buffers.
yes. The main advantage or application of buffer is to introduce delays in digital circuit, right? Yes. So you can tell when someone asks you like what is the application of buffer. The main application of buffer is to introduce delays in digital circuit. So you would have seen in the schematic diagram whenever you write in Verilog code, there will be buffers present. You'd have observed, right, when you design a Verilog code, gate level diagram of it. So another this question is from Verilog section. So write a Verilog code to swap contents of two registers and with and without a temporary register. They will ask you to write two Verilog codes. One is to swap contents with the temporary register and one is without temporary register. So you can, whoever knows the answer can put it in the chat box. Let's see how many of them know. This is like, in every interview this question is there, like majority of the interviews they ask for question like for this answer. Okay. Only two of you guys know the answer. Like, there are 32 participants, I guess. You should be aware of the answer because most of the interviews this is being asked. Okay, I'll share the answer. Okay. So with temporary register, you will be using a temporary register here that you can see. This is with temporary register. First, you will be assigning B to temp, and then B is equal to A and A is equal to temp. This is using temporary registers. You can make a note of this code because it is very much a frequently asked question in any interview, right? So, guys, make a note of this answer. This answer is swapping two contents of register using a temporary register. And this is swapping two numbers of contents of registers without temporary registers. You'll just use non-blocking assignment here, right? So here you're using blocking assignment in the while swapping with temporary register, you'll be using blocking assignment, whereas without temporary registers, you're using non-blocking assignments here. You can see. Okay, let's go for the next question. So here there is a Verilog code displayed. What is the value of A that will be displayed here at the end? Can anyone tell? Value of A that will be displayed.
0.
Yeah.
0.
Yes. Since since first the blocking assignment will be displayed, and then the delay statements, and then the non-blocking, right? So first value of A will be assigned as 0 in the display statement. Yes, it is correct. So everyone got it, or someone is stuck with this question? Shall we proceed? Okay. So, what is the difference between this two piece of lines that is written here? What does this line signify, and what is the other line telling you here?
And this first one is inter-assignment and second is intra-assignment.
Yes. Can anyone brief me how inter-assignment works? When will it get executed?
Ma'am, first line B will be assigned to A after 5 nanoseconds, and in second line B, the value of B first will be stored in some temporary register, and after 5 then it will be assigned to A.
Yes. As you said, it is correct. Like the first one is inter-assignment delay. So it will wait for 5 time units before A will be assigned to B. And then in the next one, it is intra assignment delay, where B will be assigned to a temporary register, and after 5 time units, it will be stored to the value A. Right? You should be very aware of inter assignment and intra assignment. You should not be confused with this question at all, because many of the interviews, like, they feel we get confused with this, but and they ask in every possible interview. So you guys should be very clear about this question, mainly inter assignment delay and intra assignment, right? So what is the difference between wire and a register?
Wire will not store the value, register will store the value.
Wire is
will
continuously
drive the
driven.
value,
Yeah.
and in continuous assignment we are using wire, and register we are using procedural assignment.
Yes. So register we are using to hold a value, whereas in a wire we just pass the value, that is assume the value. So in the wire needs driver to get output value, right? But whereas register, it doesn't need any driver. So wire is used in combinational logics. As you would have seen in the Verilog codes, we will be using wire in combinational logic. Whereas register is used both in combinational as well as sequential logics as well. and we will be using wire in the left hand side of the assigned statement, whereas register cannot be used in left hand side of assignment. You guys would have been aware of this, right? Because, and this is another most asked questions in the interview, I can tell. You should be aware of what is the difference between wire and reg. They might even ask you to write a piece of code and show it how it is, or something like that. Yeah, now can anyone tell me what will be the output of the following code? What will be displayed here in the first display statement, and what will be displayed here? You guys there? Yeah.
Ma'am, I think X
406.
first display will be 1100 and second will be like 00.
Yes. After the before the shift, the x value will be 1100 will be displayed here, and after the shift, 00 will be 00, all zeros will be displayed, right? Yeah, that's the answer. After shift, you'll be getting all zeros. So what will be displayed here? I think it's the same question, I guess. No, this is a different question. See, here we had a reg value that is 3:0, but then here we have for x, we have 3:0, and here we have 5:0 for the y. So yeah, you guys tell me what will be the answer that is displayed in the first display statement and what will be displayed in the second display statement. Yes. Yeah, since here y is a 6-bit value, right? You will be getting it as 1 and all zeros, right? It will be shifted like this format. You should be concentrating on how many bits it is also, not only on. I know whenever you see a piece of code like this, you just run here to see what are the values, right? But you should also be aware like what is the how many bits of how many bits it is. So here corresponding output will be before shift, it will be 1100, and then after shift it is 11 and all zeros. Only one person answered. Parihar, good try. It is correct answer. So everyone know how to convert in mugs, like draw an AND gate using mugs, XOR gate using mugs. Like does everyone know how to design gates using mugs?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys know how to design gates using mugs?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this will be one of the important question that they will ask you in an interview. So now here you have an XNOR gate. Design an XNOR gate using 2:1 marks. Now, can anyone design it and let me know? Let's see who gets the answer right.
Like at zero position, we can like for select line we take a, and for the zero and we will be b bar, and for the first it will be b. Like it will give the output as a bar, b bar, and ab.
Yes, correct. So everyone knows how to design XNOR gate using 2:1 marks.
Yes.
Does anyone wants me to show it how to design? Anyone stuck with this question? Okay, this is how it's gonna look when you draw an mux, when you design an XOR gate using 2:1 mux. So this is how it is going to look, right? So let's go for the next question. Like, what are the two types of procedural blocks in Verilog? Does anyone know the answer?
Initial and always block.
Always an initial.
Yes, yes. So can anyone tell me the difference between initial and always block? When which block will be executed? When will initial be executed and when will always be executed?
Ma'am, initial block executed in 0 simulation time and always block executed continuously.
Always block will be executed when?
Ma'am,
Continuously,
continuously
ma'am.
it will
I mean, repeatedly.
executed and initial block executed only once in a once.
Okay. So initial is executed at 0 simulation time and
Zero
always
simulation.
block will be executed whenever there is change in the sensitivity list, right? Or the clock that you will be mentioning. Yes. Yeah, correct. Always is executed whenever there is change in the sensitivity list.
And then initial we are using in test bench mostly and always we are using.
Yes,
as
yes. 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 Any other differences you guys know?
Like
Yes. Any other difference for initial and always?
Initial cannot be used in DUT.
Okay. So can anyone tell me what is the application of initial block and application of always block? Like application of initial and always block.
For initializing inputs, we use initial procedure block, whereas always
Yes.
we use for sequential circuits, or sometimes we use for combination, and there is only blocking
Yes.
assignment.
So we'll be using initial block to initialize variables, right? You should make a note of this, that we will be using initial block to initialize variables.
it can be one point, ma'am, like always is synthesizable, but initial is non-synthesizable, which is the main thing there.
Yes, and always block also will be used to generate clock signal, right? You can also take it that way. Always block will be using to generate clock signal, and only in initial block will be executing system tasks, right? In the initial block. So when they ask you for applications of initial and always block, you can tell this. First one is initial block is used to initialize the variable. Initial block can be used to generate reset signals in test bench. And initial block can be used to, and when it comes to block, you can tell it's used to generate clock signal, right? Do you guys want me to repeat it again?
Yes.
Okay. So initial block is used to initialize the variable, and initial block will be used to generate reset signal in the test bench, and initial block can be used to execute system tasks as well. So application of always blocks, you can generate clock signals using always block, right? So now can anyone tell me what is the difference between dollar monitor, dollar display and dollar strobe? When which one will be executed?
Ma'am, dollar monitor is it will print the immediate value now,
Yes.
and dollar display means it will print the value. I mean, based on the time. I mean, simulation time. I mean,
Okay.
last value. Okay, I mean, with 5. For example, I have taken a simulation time is 5 seconds, so it will print the value last 5 second value.
Okay.
And dollar.
So a dollar monitor will monitor, like whenever there is change in the input, that it will be printing the monitor statement, and then dollar display displays whenever at the current simulation. So this is important. B will print current simulation time, and dollar stroke will print at the end of the simulation, right?
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
Am I audible? Am I audible now, guys?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so yes, so we were talking about a dollar monitor, right? Like dollar monitor will be displayed, will be printed whenever there is change in the input, particular input. It will be displaying, printing whenever there is change in the inputs, right? And dollar display will be will print whenever at the current simulation time, whereas dollar strobe will print at the end of the current simulation time. So you should be aware of this question. And then, what is sensitivity list? You guys would have come across sensitivity list, right?
And sensitivity list we are using in always block, and when there is a change in the values, always block the next.
Yes. Yes, yes.
And in sensitivity, we are using only input values we are using.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's the correct answer you said. And see, before the main intention of an interviewer is not to test how much you know, it is to test your attitude mainly. So it is like, you know, sometimes you may not answer all the questions that is asked by the interviewer, but then you would have been selected. That would have been literally based on your attitude. They don't find, you know, candidates with so much knowledge. They don't basically want, you know, a candidate who knows everything and everything literally. They want someone who is curious to learn, and also who is very much having very good attitude, learning attitude. You, when you in an interview, if you don't know an answer, right, like you show them that you have a very good learning attitude, and then you're in the interview for sure. It is not that whether you know the answer or not, it is about how much you try to give the answer. That is very important in any interview. So they're gonna see how much curious you are to find out the answer, right? So even these days in interviews, puzzles have become very common. In all the interviews, there'll be one or two puzzles that they will be asking you, right? So you guys should also be aware of how to solve a puzzle. You need not to practice it, but then you should create your thinking mentality such a way that you should be ready to, you know, answer it on the spot. You know, you should have an thinking capability right there on the spot like that. So you should let me ask a puzzle, which is, you know, a little complicated, but then it's easy for you guys because, you know, give a try. How many of you can answer? Let's see. The puzzle goes like this. There are 9 balls, okay? So out of which one ball is defective ball. So you have a weighing machine. You can put the ball on both the sides and weigh it. The default ball is heavier, okay? Out of 9 balls, one ball is defective ball. So that one defective ball is heavier compared to the other balls. You have a weighing machine which you can weigh on two sides of it. And with how many iterations can you check? How many iterations do you need to tell that this ball is defective? This is one of the most asked puzzle in verification. When you apply for verification rules, they will check for this kind of puzzles. Like, You guys can try. How many iterations will it take for you to check the default ball? The minimum number of iterations.
72.
Ma'am, how many balls we have, ma'am? Like 10 or 9?
We have 9 balls, and then out of which one is a default ball. Okay. You have a weighing machine where you can weigh on both the sides. With minimum number of iterations, you should be able to tell which is the default ball.
72, ma'am.
I think it's 4 iterations.
No. Just give a thought about it once again. With minimum number of iterations, you should be able to tell which is the default one.
Three. Yeah.
What is the answer?
3.
3. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can anyone tell me how you got?
Like we have 9 balls, right? Like we'll keep 4 on one side and 4 on other side. If those are weighing same age, that means the odd one, the last ball is the heavy one. Like if one is heavy on the two sides, one is heavy, that means the defective one is in those 4 balls. Like we pick those 4 balls and we divided it in half. That means 2 on one side and 2 on other side, and we'll check the weight. So that means we'll get 2 balls, and we'll divide it in half again, so we can find the odd one out.
Guys, are you able to see the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now you have 9 balls, right? Out of which one is a default ball. So you can have 3 approaches for it, right? So you can segregate into three balls into 3 groups of balls. That is 3 in each group, 3 balls in each group, and then you'll be, let's keep it as A, this group as A, B, and this is C. You'll be weighing, consider this is the weighing machine, right? At the one end, you'll be doing A and B. So we always go with the worst case. Like if it is equal, then default ball is in C. If it is not equal, then default will be in either A or B, right? So whichever weighs heavy, if in case default ball is in your B, how will we find out? Whichever I said you, the default ball is heavier. So whichever weighs heavier, in that default ball will be present, right? So now we will, in case if B is weighing heavier, B has the default ball. So one iteration is done. Here we are doing one iteration. So the second iteration, B is there. We have 3 balls. Let's again take it as X, Y, and Z. So this is the second iteration, X, Y, and Z. So we have 1 ball each, right, in this. So when we weigh, again we go for the second iteration, we'll be weighing X and Y. So if X and Y are equal, then the default ball is Z. If X and Y are not equal, whichever the heavier one. So if X and Y are not equal, if Y is heavier, then it is the default one. If X is heavier, this is the default one. So we can get it with just 2 iterations. You guys got it?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now can you try what if the default, I said you the default ball is heavier. What in case I don't specify the default ball is heavier or lighter? Like how will you find out? So how many iterations will it take when you don't know what is the default ball? It is heavier or lighter? Like how many iterations will it take for you to find out the default ball now?
1 iteration.
No. I didn't specify if the default ball is heavier or lighter. You have 9 balls, out of which you don't know if it is heavier or lighter. How many iterations? Rethink about it. You guys trying it?
8, ma'am.
How is it possible?
If you check first 1 with 2 and 1 with 3 and 1 with 4, 1 with 5 up to 1 with 9, then we will see it is equal or not. If now one of them is not equal, then we decide that that is default.
Okay, so can you try with minimum number of iterations? Like this is exceeding, so it is like maximum. It has become more number of iterations. With minimum number of iterations, okay. Someone got the answer as 5. No. It can't be infinite. You should try it like you should try to find the minimum number of iterations. You have a weighing machine, so you can weigh it, right? Like it can't be infinite. Someone got answer as 5. Can you explain how you got 5?
Like what I did here, I don't know whether it is a light or heavy. So first I will go for the heavy one. So there can be
Okay.
condition, can check with the heavy, and the same way I can like A and B I am checking. Then from the B, then I'm checking for the C if it is heavy. And
Okay.
for the same, if I'm checking for the lighter one, then A and B, B is heavy.
Okay.
At the same place, A is lighter. So then I'm going with the A and C and checking for, and from this, whatever will be the lighter, I will check for that. Maybe in that
Okay.
way.
It is a good try, but then I will show you the another method. Like you can do it.
Yeah.
Ma'am, if you use the same approach, you would be possible that it is possible that you can do it in two iterations only.
Yes, 4 iterations is correct answer. Can you explain how you got it? Okay, I'll just explain it for you guys. So now you have 9 balls, out of which one is default. You don't know if it is heavier or lighter. So you will just group it into 3 again. 3, 3, and 3. You are making it into 3 groups, which is A. Let's keep it as A, B, and C. So we have 3 groups. So now what you will do, you have a weighing machine again. You don't know which one is heavier or lighter. Now you will weigh A and B. If it is equal, C is default. So we are considering worst case. What if it is not equal? So you'll have to do AB. You'll be doing. And then if it is not equal, you should know which one is correct. Like now if A is not equal to B, if A is lighter and B is heavier, right? How will you know which one has the default ball, A or B? You don't know, right? So you'll have to compare A with C and then B with C. So you're doing 3 iterations here in the first step. You're doing 3 iterations. So here you'll find out which one, when you compare A with C, if it is equal, then B is the default, right? So you'll be comparing A with C and again B with C. So if A and C are equal, then B is the default, right? So you'll be doing 3 iterations here, and now you will get to know that B is default in case suppose B is default, you have 3. So here you will get to know which one is heavier or lighter now. If A and C are equal, right? So you would have, when you compare A and B, you would have got to know A is lighter and B is heavier or something like that, right? Now you will compare it with C. You will get to know which one, if A is heavier or B is heavier. So in case B, you understood that B is heavier, right? Then you'll have 3, A, B, and C. Let's take it as X, Y, and Z better for better understanding.
Everyone just rejoin the same meeting if the link got over, right? Rejoin the same link.
So we'll take it as X, Y, and Z. So we have one ball in each, right? So you just do X and Y. you'll weigh X and Y here. When you weigh X and Y, if it is equal, then Z is default. If it is not equal, whichever the heavier one, it's a default. So here 1 iteration. So in total, you'll be doing 4 iterations. You guys got the answer? Yes.
And
Yes.
so in the last step, when we are having 3 balls, and let's suppose we taken out 1 ball and we are weighing 2 balls, and if they
Okay.
are not coming equal, so as we
Okay.
don't know whether the heavier one is default or lighter one is default, so we have to make one another weighing with the left out ball. So in total, I
Okay.
think 5 iterations
No,
needed to
I'll
figure
I'll
out.
just explain. No, we can do it with 4 iterations itself. I'll just show you once again. Is my whiteboard visible to you guys?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now you have nine balls, right? You don't know whether which one is heavier or lighter. You made into 3 groups. A, B, and C. So now each one has 3 balls. A has 3, B has 3 balls, and C has 3 balls. Now what you guys do is you take a weighing machine and you'll be weighing A and B. So let's consider the worst case. If A and B if A and B are equal, right? C is having the default ball. So in worst case, if A and B are not equal, right? We don't know which is not equal, because if we don't know if A is not equal or B is not equal, because we don't know if it is heavier or lighter, right? So we will be comparing A. Now we compared A, B. This is the first iteration that we did. And then now we'll be doing A and C. So now we know C, when A and B are not equal, we know C is the correct, right? Like is the correct one. So now when we weigh A and C, if A and C are not equal, when we do A and C, right? We know C is correct one, like it doesn't have the default ball. So if it is not equal, we will get to know whether A is lighter or heavier than C. Now we know that C doesn't have the default ball. Now we can, by this we can figure out if A is heavier or lighter than C. So now if in case A is lighter than C, we know the default ball is lighter. Or else if A is heavier than C, default ball is heavier, right? We'll understand with the second or third iteration. So in case if A is equal to C, then default will be in B, right? So we'll be doing B and C to find out if it is heavier or lighter. So from this, we will get to know if the default ball is heavier or lighter. So now consider B is not equal to C. So now we understand the default ball is in the B, right? So let's take each ball as X, Y, and Z. So here we did 3 iterations here. That is AB, BC, and AC. So we did 3 iterations in the first step. And we also found out if the ball is heavier or lighter. So now we will only do 1 iteration here. We'll just do X is equal X, and we'll just weigh X and Y. We'll just weigh X and Y, right? If X is equal to Y, then Z is the default ball. If X is not equal to Y, right? Whichever the heavier one, here if we found out it is heavier, whichever the heavier one is there, that is the default. And likewise, if Y is the heavier one, then Y is the default. So here we do only 1 iteration. So in total, we do only 4 iterations. Yeah, here our aim is to find out the default ball with minimum number of iterations. You guys got it now? Is it clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this kind of puzzles will be asked. So we can come across the most asked interview questions and puzzles like this. And you can prepare yourself for interview like this each day. Like It is like the more interview questions that you go through and you come across puzzles like this and solve it. It is like, see, this is not a rocket science question or something. It is just a plain question where you'll have to think with very minimum common sense that we can use, right? So it is like if you try to answer it on the spot and in the interview, right? They feel like, okay, they feel like you are, even if you would have answered a technical question wrong also, if you answer this kind of puzzle right, they'll consider you for sure in the interview, because they want people who have very good thinking capability more than answering technical stuff. They would prefer you if you answer a puzzle like this properly in the interview. You should be used to like solving puzzles like this. All it takes is just a little of thinking. Anyone have any questions?
Ma'am, designing questions of FSM like infinite sequence is there, no, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Like that, some type of interview questions I faced, ma'am. I didn't attend properly.
Okay, we can discuss about yeah, FSM is one main important topic that will be asked in the interview. They
It
might
is that
ask you the difference between Cayley and Murray model. They might ask you to draw the state, a state diagram of it, or they might ask you to write a Verilog code for FSM. So we can discuss that in upcoming classes as well. Because FSM is a very, very important topic that you come across in an interview, right? So we will discuss about it in the further class.
Yeah. Okay.
And you guys can, you guys can put in the chat box whatever the questions that you want to be discussed in the next class. So we can discuss all those in the next class as well. So we'll be discussing.
Ma'am, it's just a humble request that can you just state the questions before this ball question, that whatever you taught today?
You want the PPT?
Yeah, I want the PPT.
Yes, we will be sharing it.
Thank you, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. Any more questions? Yes, okay. I'll
in
make
one of
it.
the interview they asked me about registers and like waveform also, like how they to explain the waveform of registers, like bidirectional registers.
Okay. Yes. We can discuss about all this. I'll just make a note of everything that you guys mentioned in the chat box. We can discuss in the next comment. Any more questions, guys?
Next class is on which day, ma'am?
We will let you know sooner.
Okay, ma'am.
Any more questions, guys?
System Verilog, whether they ask coding also to write.
Yes, they will definitely ask you to write a few Verilog codes to see if you are aware of Verilog or
Not
not.
ma'am, Verilog, ma'am. Verilog, I know that they will ask, but about system Verilog, ma'am. Whether they ask to write the code.
No, it depends on the resume. See, if you mention system Verilog in your resume, then they will definitely ask you questions on system Verilog. See, basically, for a fresher, right? They would have they don't care if you know system Verilog or Verilog. They want to know if you're eligible as a fresher, right? So basically, in any interview, they will not look for how much you know, how many, even if you know. See, a few candidates who know system Verilog and UVM might be rejected, but only candidates who know only Verilog would have been selected. You think it is because of they know too much, or it's not like that. It is like they will check if you know the what they check for is your thinking capability in the interview. See, they will give you training. However, after joining as an intern, they will be giving you months of training. So they want a right candidate who is a quick learner. I can tell you, they will check for your quick learning capabilities. So if you know system Verilog, that is a big advantage for sure. And mention only when you know it very properly. Don't mention even a little of things in your resume that you don't know about. Your resume is going to be like, even if you put one little thing and you don't know about it and you fumble there, your interview is done there. Like they will not be selecting for any reasons. It is like you should mention everything in the resume and you should be 100% aware of it. So if you guys are gonna mention system Verilog in your resume, right, you should be able to write codes in system Verilog as well then.
If we are not mention the Verilog and only mention system Verilog and UVM, can we will also selected for interview?
Yes, see, then you don't mention Verilog and you mention system Verilog and UVMs, even then you will be asked questions in Verilog, because Verilog is like, how you start with this is from Verilog you start, right? You don't directly go to system Verilog. It's like you start with Verilog and then system Verilog and then UVM, right? Like that. So definitely
No, ma'am.
in an
Only
interview,
mention system Verilog and UVM, not.
so it is like, you can have more of theoretical knowledge or you can have coding knowledge. You might have ability to write, a very big complex code also, but then how you express your answer in an interview is very important. It is like you should put your, when they ask you some question, you should put it in proper words and tell the answer to them such a way they understand it. So it is like how you prepare yourself to answer is important. Guys, any more questions you got? Take note of everything that is put in the chat box. We can discuss them in further classes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
No, if you have an PPT.
I will be sharing it.
Interview question of SV and UVM with answers.
Yes, we will be discussing it in further classes and we'll be sharing the PPT.
Ma'am, any platform for preparing for puzzle questions like this?
Yes, there are a few platforms, and also I'll be sharing you a few materials of it also.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
That are, ma'am, using T flip-flop using 2:1 marks.
No, can you repeat again?
Okay, ma'am.
Can you repeat your question?
Flip-flop, ma'am. Flip-flop like. Yes, ma'am. D flip-flop, T flip-flop, latch using 2:1 marks like that, ma'am. Questions.
Yes, we can discuss that also.
Designing
in further
questions.
classes. Yes, they might ask all
Okay.
such questions as well. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.